Hey, Io, I just wanted to know about your mindset down the stretch. I mean, you scored the game tying bucket, then you scored the first five in overtime. It seems like you kind of took over. Just what was going through your mind and just willing the team to that win?
It was a hard fought out game, but what hit me when I'm like, all right, it's time to lock in. I believe it was a, a free throw, a 1-and-1. We were down two. I missed the front end of a 1-and-1. We're down two. Then they come down. I believe they hit a three. We were down five. And I'm like, all right, like it's time to lock in. I looked at the time. Coach called the timeout. We were down five. Or like 3 minutes left. I'm like, all right, we good. Just trust in yourself, believe your instincts. You got this. All the work you put in. I just told myself that. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's try to get the W. And then I believe I hit a pull-up jump shot. And then after that, it was just, all right, I'm like, all right, let's try to wheel my team to victory.
And I saw you talking a lot down the stretch, but I noticed particularly conversations you were having with Adam Miller. Just what were you talking to him in those last couple of minutes after some of the plays? And I imagine it was a little bit of a freshman learning experience there.
Yeah, he's a freshman. He's a great player, and he's in a very interesting environment. Which you don't really see a lot of freshmen. Come in on a highly ranked team. So I was just on him about the importance of not letting Nebraska get in our heads. They were down three, and they were trying to foul, get chippy. They called a double tech early in the game, and I didn't want to give Nebraska any easy points because our defense was so well down the stretch. So I just told him like, yo, don't fall into that trap. Just play solid defense. Try to use your hands. Like don't force the ref to call a foul. And yeah, that was pretty much it. He took it. He soaked it in, and we were able to get the W.
Okay,
Thanks,
Robert Rosenthal, you're up, and then we'll go to Rob McCauley. Go ahead, Robert.
Io, expanding on those stats, looks like Trent hit a three with 8 minutes to go, and then you scored the next 15 points for Illinois, the final 10 in regulation, first five in overtime. Just talk me through what a moment like that is, what your teammates are saying to you, how that role gets going.
They just told me, let's go home. They believe in me down the stretch to make plays. I was trying to make the best plays possible. Kof got fouled some, so I was just trying to make the play to help our team win. And they believed in me. We did a great job. We were able to get stops, and we were able to score when needed to. Don't look at Nebraska's record. They're a very good team, one of the best conferences. They're in the best conference in college basketball. So someone has to lose. But overall, they're a very well coached team. Coach Hoiberg, he gets them playing hard. And when you have number six in the country, you're going to get the team's best shot. I remember my freshman year when we were on that end, when we were hunting teams. When we played teams like Michigan State and Maryland. Those were the games where you get extra adrenaline for, and they had it tonight. But the good thing, we got the win. We're a veteran team. We're able to get the win. That's what's best.
And then maybe the most excited I saw you out there was after the block to send it to overtime. Talk me through that play and what that was.
Now that was just pure emotion, pure joy. I understood the game wasn't going our way. We could have found ways to fold. We could have took the easy way out and pointed fingers, but down the stretch, we made plays, and that was a huge play. I knew all we needed to do was get 5 more minutes. I knew we were going to pull it out the way we were playing down the stretch, and we did that. So that was just pure raw emotion just showing.
Thanks.
Hey, Rob McCauley and Jeremy Werner on deck. Go ahead, Rob.
If you can remember back to the early part of the game, were you guys having a difficult time reacting to the matchup zone?
I wouldn't say that. I just think that early on we were a little tentative when it came to our selections with shots. We were making the right plays, but we were like overthinking, to drive it or to throw in the post. And I believe we got logged down with that. But when we got comfortable, we started making shots, started making plays, and we fixed that. We made adjustments to our defense, and it was pretty cool.
And later in the game, it looked like you personally sort of had it in the bag, but the thing you were fighting was fatigue. Were the legs holding up for you? Were you breathing hard?
Oh, I found ways to dig deep. At a time like this, we're playing for so much. Our goals are so much. Fatigue wasn't nothing I was thinking of. That's pretty much mental. I told myself, give it all you got, and then after the game, you can get treatment. But during that time, I wasn't thinking of fatigue.
All right. Thanks. Congratulations.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
we'll go with Jeremy and then Gavin.
Real quick, y'all. He liked that. I want y'all to know he liked that. He nice with it. He liked that. Let's go.
I know we've asked you about this because you've done this so often in closing time. When or how does that switch flip for you? And what goes into that as a team? Is it just, hey, get out of the way, or what happens then?
They just believe me. Like I said, it comes with connectivity with your teammates. And also in practice, my teammates, when we do situations, they believe me to make the right play. And that's all just trusting them. So I thank them for allowing me to trust me to make the right plays, whether it's to shoot it or to pass it. And I just go out there and like I said, I just really just trust in my instinct. I trust in my God-given, talent, of course. And I just go out there and just play freely and just try to do whatever it takes to win, whether it's to score or whether it's to hit a teammate for a shot. And but they believe in me. It's easy when your teammates believe in you and they allow you to do what you can do best down the stretch.
Is there something defensively that happens or something differently offensively that you guys put into place there?
You talking about down the stretch?
Yeah, just does something open up for you?
I mean, it's just like I said, it's the wheel. It's a mentality that, studying like Mamba mentality, all those great players. It's just a wheel. It's like a factor that just hits in. It's like a bash, like a takeover bash that hits in and allows you to just down the stretch, try to do whatever it takes to win. That's why I was so emotional in the overtime, because I knew we had 5 more minutes to win. I just want to win so bad. This team, we've been through so much adversity. So, down the stretch, when we have a chance to win and when we do make plays to win, that raw emotion, that mentality to be the best and try to just win, it comes out.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, go ahead, Gavin.
It seemed like Coleman in some of these games here has given you guys a new element. Seemed like he did that tonight in the first half a little bit. What did you see from him out there?
He did a great job. He was aggressive. I love when he's aggressive. Coleman is a great player. He's very skilled. He's going to be very good, I promise you. And he came out aggressive. Even one time when he went in there, I believe he got a shot block or it was he turned it over. I love it. He's an aggressive player. He's so good. I'm so high on him. His upside is amazing. So whenever he's out there playing with confidence, I'm cool with that because I know how good he's going to be.
Absolutely. You guys are on another run here, kind of similar to that, I think, 7-game winning stretch you had last season. Over these last couple of years, what have you guys learned about being able to put together these long runs like that and not having a slip up in between games?
I mean, it takes days like this, games like this, winning games like this. Every game is going to be pretty. Every game is going to be all the shots going in, Illinois. It's not going to be like that. That's not the reality of it. So we just try to stay focused. We know how many games it takes to win the NCAA tournament. So we have a goal now. We're trying to, win games in a row so we can simulate that. So when the NCAA tournament comes, we'll be ready and prepared and already, accomplish it.
Thanks, Io.
Okay, Joey Wagner, Brandon on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Io, you mentioned those games your freshman year against top 5, top 10 teams. What do you remember about how you personally went into those games, and what did you take out of that feeling that like maybe Nebraska felt in this game?
I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. When I played those high-ranked teams, I wanted to go out there and kill. I wanted to go out there and like hurt their season or hurt their night. That's just the competitive nature in me. So I knew Nebraska had the same feeling, and them on the court, talking on the court, hearing their bench, they had the same feeling. You have number 6 in the country. They're 0-7, like they really have nothing to lose. Everyone already counted them out of this game, so it really makes us have to execute better. I think we did a poor job executing to the potential of where we want to be at. But at the end of the day, that left column, it always says win. It's no more victories, it's no almost win, or it just says win. So that I'm grateful to get this win.
Did you learn anything in those games a couple of years ago with how the other team kind of carried themselves to, in some cases, avoid an upset that you can translate now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mental toughness that you have to always have. Coach always harps on us about that. You have to be extra ready. Like you can't be ready. You have to be extra ready, because the other team's adrenaline, the other team's mindset is to come out here and play as hard as they can. So it might be some shots that typically don't go in, but I don't know, it's how basketball is, where it just falls. So we have to be extra locked in. Talking to the guys, we really learned a valuable lesson tonight, which is each and every possession you have to value it, and you have to come out and play as hard as you can, because the other team who's looking to beat you, they really have nothing to lose.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go with Brandon Simberg, and this will be the last question for IO. Coach ready to go. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Io, you guys turned the ball over 9 times in the first half, but then only 4 times the rest of the game. So maybe what was wrong in the first half, and would you guys kind of do better later in the game?
I think we had some very silly turnovers. Of course, I believe I had 3 in the first half. Just silly turnovers that definitely are correctable. Late game, second half we did a great job taking care of the ball. Whenever we don't turn the ball over, we're a very scary team. I think some of our turnovers were silly. We had a lot of silly turnovers that are very correctable.
Okay, thanks, Brandon. All right, thanks, IO. Congratulations. Great finish tonight.
Thank you.
All right, with Coach, we'll go with Robert, and then Andy Olson, and then there's a couple who didn't get questions in with the players. So I don't know, Scott and Matt, do you have questions for Coach? If you will, we'll follow up. All right, and then we'll jump back in the line. So go ahead, Coach. Appreciate your time. We can go ahead and start with an opening statement, and then we'll open up for questions.
Well, I'm gonna compare this one to a round of golf or a hole in golf. When you hit your tee ball really far left and you're in the rough, you're behind a tree, you punch it out because you have no other choice. You hit your third into the par 4 and you miss the green, and then you chip it in to make your par. But the only thing I know is you put a par on that scorecard, and nobody's drawing pictures. And I told our team, I drew a big T on the whiteboard, and I put a W in one column and an L in the other. And then I put a mark under the W. That's what tonight was. We escaped in a very ugly fashion. Give Nebraska a ton of credit. Nobody at the end of the year is going to draw pictures about this one, but it's a W. And we've got to learn from it. I want to give Nebraska a ton of credit because they played great, and they really slowed their tempo down tonight. They played with much better pace and flow, and yet I thought our defensive second half was very good. But when our team doesn't pursue the ball, which we didn't pursue it tonight, we got out rebounded. When we're not pursuing the ball, we're not at our best, and that was the case tonight.
All right, Robert Rosenthal, go ahead, and then follow up with Andy Olson. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Coach, Iowa scores 15 in a row, the last 10 in regulation, the first 5 in overtime. Tell me about your superstar.
Yeah, it was his time. And what is really unique is he had not played great, and he'd missed some opportunities that he normally doesn't. He'd missed some free throws. And yet, you dance with the one who got you there, and that's what we did. And he made big shots. He made a nice pass to Kofi, and I'm just glad that number 11 was on our team tonight.
You only got scoring from 5 players, so Io, Kofi, Trent, Adam Miller, and Hawkins were the only 5 players to score. Does that concern you when you have a game like that?
No, because tonight was all about the defensive side. I was going to ride those guys as hard as I could ride them. I was really comfortable with that group defensively. We'll spread those minutes out. I knew we weren't sharp, and that was the group that I was going to ride with. And Coleman played great. But again, it was kind of an out of character night from that standpoint. But that won't be the norm.
Hey, Andy Olson, you're up, and then Rob McCulley. Go ahead, Andy.
Brad, I know a lot has happened since then, but what did you tell the team in that first time out after going down 9-0?
Well, I told them, I mean, they would give us an opportunity to get back in the game, but we had to. I was really concerned because we gave up Jacob Grandison, and I'm pretty critical of Jake all week in practice because he gave up back cut layup after back cut layup. And, it was, I told our coaching staff before the game, I said, Jake's going to give up the first basket of the game on a back cut layup. And I told him about it before the game, and he still gave it up. Again, it's one of those things that's he's got to get better at. And he wasn't dialed in and as he needed to be. And they took advantage, and we had to get stops. We had to figure out how to get a couple stops. And then we got really passive on the offensive end. They do a good job defensively. They're I knew they were going to take Kofi away. They made his entries hard, and we didn't do a very good job of taking care of the ball. And we just had to settle down, and we did that, and kind of found a way to make it competitive at the end of the half.
You always call these Big Ten games rock fights. Was this the definition of a rock fight?
Yeah, it was a game that I've been concerned about for a long time when it was set. It's a game that we had been talking about. Prior to, we thought we were playing Michigan on the schedule. You're going to get 2 top 5 teams or top 6 teams playing, and then all of a sudden it's not Michigan. It's a team who's really struggling, and all of a sudden this becomes that trap game. And we practiced not very good yesterday, and our shoot around was horrible today. I thought our effort was okay. It was just our mental focus and tenacity. And like I said, when we don't chase balls, that's a pretty good sign to me.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, I'm going to go. Sorry, Rob, just a moment. I'm going to go with Scott and Matt since we skipped them for us. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Brad, Nebraska threw several different guys at Kofi and, just made catches tough for him early. What was maybe key to getting him on track a little bit?
Well, they do a great job of it. And if you look at their stats over the course of the season, I think Minnesota took 36 threes at home. Wisconsin came in here and took 32. And then you look in the league play, I mean, their games have been 7, 8, 9. They've been close games. And it's because of their defense, and they force you to make threes. And, we talked a lot about not being able to be, have stretches where we take 5, 6, 7 threes. Once we drove the ball and got a little movement, we were able to get him the ball. But again, they give their defense a lot of credit because they did a nice job with it.
And just, with your defense on that last possession and regulation, Io ends up getting the stop on McGowan's, but it seemed like Fred was pretty upset about just not getting anything there. What was that, just sort of kind of put a cap on maybe that defensive performance to close out the second half?
Yeah, it was a great switch, a great late game switch by 2 veteran players, Trent and Io, and just forced them. And they run a little wrap play off the backside of that. Somehow it got blown up. But it was going to be an isolation, and we were able to again to play great defense and kind of thwart that attempt.
Thank you.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up, and then Rob. Go ahead, Matt.
Brad, I guess the question I was going to ask Io was, I mean, when Io's on a heater like that, like how much of a concern is it for you as a coach that, the 4 other guys are just standing around and watching? And is there a counter to, hey, they've got 60 years of coaching experience on that bench. The idea is to not let Io turn the corner and go toward the rim. Like, at what point do you go, hey, we have to figure out what they're going to do if they take that away?
They can have all the years on the bench they want to have. They still got to get their players to stop it. And our guys aren't just out there standing. Our guys are out there, spotted up and spaced up. And we work on those situations literally 4 or 5 times a week. And, you put the ball in playmakers' hands. to make plays. And sometimes it's just about going to get one yourself. He got downhill into the rim. We were in one set, 5 straight times. And I mean, he got to the rim, got fouled. I wasn't born last weekend. I'm going to keep running the same play till they guard it. But again, those guys are in positions to space and make shots if need be.
I guess my follow-up, I'll ask you about a player who didn't score tonight again, and DeMonte. I'll give you another opportunity to talk about maybe how he got you a W tonight and the box score might not indicate what he did.
I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal defensive effort. It was his rebounding, his ability. Again, when they have 4 perimeter guys like that on the floor all the time, who his switches, they've got size, they've got matchups. DeMonte guarded everybody from their point guard to their power forward, and that versatility was huge. And his veteran knowledge and experience was a huge factor in that tonight.
All right, go ahead, Rob, and then Alec on deck. Go ahead, Rob.
This will be my only question, Alec. So, George, you got about the same amount of time that Jake did, and of course, DeMonte brought you home. Is there anything to read into that, or is it just the matchups? And Coleman got all that time, of course. We talked about.
No, it was very much about what I felt comfortable with defensively tonight. And again, McGowan's got 20 attempts up tonight. They were running a little high ball screen, and Kofi was doing an elite job of protecting that rim and making them shoot over him. And that was something I felt really comfortable with at that time. So hence Georgie's minutes were down, but and then Coleman was great. Coleman's been really good in practice. So and then I liked his versatility with size, being able to guard their perimeter guys as well.
Okay, go ahead, Alec, and then Joey on deck.
Yeah, Coach, if my math's right, and it might not be, I'm pretty sure Kofi has 25 double-doubles now in 50 career games. Is that something you've ever seen before? And what kind of efficiency does that say?
Well, Derek just told me it's 26. So no, that's being pretty productive, especially I'll tell you what's really impressive about that. It's his first 2 years of college. It's not somebody doing it on the back end of their career when they've been in a weight room. They've seen everything for 2 years. He's doing this as a freshman and sophomore. And again, he imposes his will and his strength and his girth and everything else on people, and that wears you out over the course of time. And pretty impressive.
And then shifting gears a little bit, Adam tied a career high tonight, I think, with 7 rebounds. Second time he's done that this season. What is his rebounding ability like? Because there's nights where he really rebounds well, like he did tonight, and then there's other nights where he's just not as active on the glass.
Yeah, we need that consistency. We need him to rebound. And again, we knew that they took a lot of threes. So, we have a saying, long shots equal long rebounds, and our guards have to go chase that. And again, he was fabulous tonight. And again, I felt very comfortable with him on the defensive end, and he saw the ball go in tonight, and he had 7 rebounds. He's capable of that every night.
All right, Joey, you're up. Jeremy on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, what does it say about your guys' team? And I know it's just 1 in the win column, but what could this mean going forward to kind of save par here in this upstart game that was really just scheduled on Monday?
Well, I mean, you've got to win games. I mean, winners win. Winners win, and losers lose. And early in my career here with some of those teams, Joey, you knew we weren't winning those games. It's nice to have veterans. It's nice to have guys with confidence, and we found a way to win, and that's what winners do. And you've got to win every season. You go back and you look, and there's always a game or 2 or 3 like this, and you don't play your best, and yet really good teams find a way to win, and we did that tonight.
Is there anything about some of these guys, like Io's freshman year, you get number 5 Michigan come in, you play like top-ranked team. Is there anything about that they've been on the other end of this and they've kind of seen what it takes to get out of here? Is there anything that translate with that experience?
Well, I'm sure there is. It's not something we talk about a lot, but I mean, they've obviously witnessed, the Michigan States and whoever it's been that, Purdue or first year or two that was so great, and, come in and just kind of, maybe not be their best, and all of a sudden they flip that switch. And again, that's what we were able to do, and especially Iowa.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay, we'll go with Jeremy and then Brandon to wrap it up. So go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, what changes for Io in these last 4 or 5 minutes of games?
It's winning time. He's that guy. He's got the it. It's I don't know how to describe it. He's been in that situation his whole life. He's confident. He's not afraid. Jeremy, I mean, he got good looks throughout the game, and he missed them. Put the game on the line, that sucker nothing but the bottom of the net, and he missed free throws. Put the game on the line, he makes free throws, and it's just the it factor. I mean, he's a mentally very, very tough kid. He's not afraid, and he's just got that ability to flip a switch that says, "Hey, I'm gonna win the game," and go do
it. And what do you have to do as a coach there? Do you just get out of the way, or and what do you do to counter that if you're a coach? Because it didn't seem like Nebraska had any counter to that.
Well, it's hard. I mean, he's really good because he's really good with the ball. My biggest challenge, Jeremy, is figuring out where on the floor to put it. And they wanted to weak him and force him to his left hand all night. And okay, so you put him and he rejected 2 of them. Sometimes you don't want to run a screen up there to him. I mean, the last play of the game, we didn't run a screen up to him, but they ran and doubled him anyway. It's just he's got an unbelievable ability. He's canny, he's smart, and he's very hard to guard.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, and then Brandon, you'll be wrap things up tonight. So go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Brad, you guys actually got out-rebounded tonight. What do you kind of attribute that to? Lack
of pursuing the ball, lack of effort. That their desire was higher than ours. Like I said, I don't want to say I saw this coming, but I saw this coming. And we were horrible in shoot around today. I really got on them, and we didn't practice great. And again, it's a mental thing with us that it happens sometimes. It's not uncommon it happens to every team in the country. They lose it. You look up, they lose a game they shouldn't, and you're like, wow. Well, it's usually an effort thing. And tonight was an effort thing. And I look solely at our rebounding. When we get out rebounded, it's usually because we're not pursuing the ball very well.
And then was this another chapter for Io in his case for Big Ten Player of the Year?
Just keep writing him. He just keeps writing them. I don't know what the last chapter is going to look like, but the middle chapters are damn hellacious. I know that.
Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Have a safe trip home, and we'll see you back in Champaign. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.